Well, hello, everyone. I'm Joy, and I would like to welcome you to the show today. Today, the topic is love to lose, hate to change. That speaks to so many people. Love to lose, hate to change. Let me explain what I mean by that. There's 3 steps that you have to do in order to get the results that you're looking for, in order to get your weight loss results that you desire. And the first step is to recognize and realize where you are currently at. Also, to recognize that if you look at where you're currently at and you're not happy with what you see, whether that's your size, your weight, stored fat, if you're not happy with what you see and you've been seeing that for 3 or more months, then that means you have settled. That means that you have settled in your current state, even though that's not your true desire. And so you have to admit that. And once you admit that you've settled, then the next step is to say, I am open-minded to new possibilities and new strategies. And that is key, because if you're not open-minded, then that means you're still swimming in a sea of excuses and you're still swimming in a sea of justifications. And if you're swimming in that sea, then you're not at a point where you can be helped yet, and you can go ahead and hang up right now. Maybe you're not ready right now. Maybe next week, maybe next year. But as of right now, if you are not open-minded, you're not ready to move on. You have to be willing to say, I have settled, and my strategy is not the best strategy. So I'm open-minded to find out a new strategy, something that's different, that will give me a different result. Maybe I don't know it all. Maybe the way I've been doing things is not the best. But one thing that I know for sure is that I am willing and able to get a new result, and it starts with me, and it starts right now. It's a choice, and you have to choose to. Okay? Let me tell you something. This is really interesting. There was this guy, and I posted a picture about a month ago of my R3 flat belly tea online, and he had a question regarding the tea. And what's interesting is, like, I don't post a lot of different things online regarding my products or services. And the reason being is because it's like, okay, if you are a creator of a product or service, or you have a vested interest in it, you're financially tied to that product or service, then of course other people will look at it and say, well, duh, of course you only have good things to say about it. You have a vested interest in that product or service. So to me, it's just not effective, because it's natural for people to just expect someone with a vested interest in that product or service to give it kudos and say all the wonderful things that it does and will do for you. So therefore, I feel that it's a better approach for the person who if they've tried it and it worked for them and they have good results, let them be the one to go out and share it and spread it. Because now it's believable, because that person doesn't have a vested interest in your product or service. So they're just sharing it because they're happy and excited about it. So even though I'm happy and excited about it as well, I don't have that same effect on people because I'm the one who created it. So therefore, I share it because I'm excited about it, but I can't go overboard. That's why it trips me out when people have a vested interest in a product and they're just plastering it all over the place every hour. It's like, that's not effective. That's not the best way. That's not a way that will get me anyway, because of the fact that I do want to make sure that the person that is sharing something with me is not financially tied to it. And that person can be as well, but I want to find out from other people who are not tied to it. So I like to get a more well-rounded reviews regarding products and services. So going back to this guy, he asked me a question. He said, okay, I am interested in trying your flat belly tea. However, I've spent money on products before that made promises and they didn't work. So basically, I'm just wondering if this will be another waste of my money or not, is what he was saying. And let me tell you what's interesting. I find this so interesting. Do you realize that this same guy, I don't know what he looks like. Let's just assume he's overweight. Obviously, he's not 100% satisfied with his body, or he wouldn't be inquiring about a flat belly tea. So obviously he needs to tighten up the belly, but let's just assume that he's overweight. And I find it very interesting that the main reason that he's overweight has to do with his food, okay? It has to do with his food, his choices regarding food. But he has never gone into the grocery store, and this is something you have to do daily. You eat daily. So he's gotten food from the grocery store, fast food restaurants, drive-thrus, but I bet he's never emailed the grocery store and said, to ask them a question and say, you know what? I've been eating your food. These are the brands that I've been eating. I've been getting them from your store. It has caused my body to get fat. And I want to know why I should continue giving you money to put foods in my mouth that's causing me to get fat. I don't know why I should do that. Do you have an answer for me? He would never do that. But all of a sudden, he's looking at my product that's made of 8 organic, natural herbs from nature that work synergistically well together to create a certain effect within the belly, lipolysis, to burn fat and release fat from the gut. And now all of a sudden, you want to hit me with a question on its effectiveness. Let me just share a basic principle with you when it comes to nutrients and what they do within the cells of the body, okay? We consume foods, and those foods, I don't care if it's foods, herbs, supplements, whatever, we consume them, and if they're full of nutrients, then they go and they build our cells. If they're depleted in nutrients, then we consume those foods and they break down our cells. So they're either building up our cells or breaking down our cells. So you have spent your life or so many years eating foods that's breaking down and destroying your cells and causing you to be toxic and causing you to be full of extra stored fat. So you never have to question foods that has the reverse effect. It reminds me of a guy. It's so funny. All these stories today have to do with guys. I love you guys, but it just happens. It's just a coincidence. So there was this guy, and he said, oh, yeah, I want to find out more about your sugar rehab program. And he's like, but actually today, he said, usually I struggle with sugar. He said, but today I'm doing really well. I've been eating lots of protein and veggies. And unfortunately, I did slip up and have some cantaloupe. I'm like, oh my gosh, obviously this guy does not know who he's talking to. Because he would not be, unfortunately, are you kidding me? Unfortunately, you had cantaloupe? No, that was very fortunate. Because fruit is life-giving. It's cleansing. It literally is almost like taking what Drano does to a clogged sink. Yeah. That's what fruit does within our bodies. It literally goes in and scrubs away at all the gook that's sticking to your colon, that's sticking to your cells. It's releasing all of that. It's releasing all of that stored fat. It's rebuilding your cells. It's amazing. He's like, well, but, there's sugar in it. I'm like, dude, that's the sugar that our body wants, craves, and needs. Don't say it as if you're comparing it to a Snickers candy bar. They're two different animals. You consume one form of sugar in the form of that candy bar, and yes, it will break down the cells, Yes, it will jack up your blood sugar levels. Yes, it will cause you to have more cravings of more refined sugars. However, when you consume the cantaloupe, it's very satisfying. It replenishes your glycogen levels. It's hydrating. It replenishes your electrolytes. It makes you more alkaline. So it helps with your pH balance. Two different animals. So I don't care about all the myths and rumors that you've heard about fruit. I'm one of those people that'll roll my sleeves up and fight you if you say the wrong things about fruit. Seriously, I'm laughing, but I'm totally serious. So what do? We love to lose, but we hate change. So as I mentioned, step 2 is you have to be open-minded, which means giving up some of your old theories and strategies that you felt were effective and that you've learned and that's been a part of you and been a part of your conscious and subconscious for years. It's time to let some of those go. You have to come in with an open mind. When you're ready to come in with an open mind, now we can work. Now we can get busy. Now we can have some phenomenal results. Third step. And this is a step that's so important. The third step is that we will practice. We will practice and it become a habit. Why? Because thoughts become words, become actions, become habits. Right now, you make a lot of bad habits, a lot of habits that are not serving you. And we need to replace them. And the only way to do that and keep your sanity, because using willpower and using some weird diets, you can do it, but you'll lose your sanity. So we want to be sexy and sane, not sexy and insane. How about that? So what you have to do, we have practice. Just like if you were learning to ride a bike. You get on that bad boy and you're falling off and it's somewhat uncomfortable and frustrating a little bit in the beginning. But why you get back on? How come you don't put the bike in the garage? Why do you keep getting back on? Because you, instead of keeping your eyes focused on the fall, you're keeping your eyes focused on reward. You see yourself riding up on your street. You see yourself having so fun, riding along the side of your friends. You see your friends riding on it. Your focus benefit. And as you focus on the benefits, all sunny, that you don't practice. Like, I'm going to get quick. Not interested. Practice for you to ride up. You are a so same attitude you have to have when it comes to practicing your strategy to weight loss, to reach your goal. You have to embrace the change. You can't hate change. Them forever. Know that after you get past the learning curve, fun and practice becomes a habit, and then you're not thinking about it. You're an autopilot. If you get in your car and you go home or home to work, do you realize that go home at home? You go to daily a week. You can think about it. You do it autopilot. This is the reason why you can talk on the phone and think about what you're going to have to do. Watch someone on the street. You can do multiple things, think of multiple things, and you'll still get work. XYZ Street. Well, it's because subconsciously the pattern has already been imprinted, and so therefore all you're doing is going through the motions. There's habits really help. They do things so we don't think about them. So think of that. They're bad at the same time, have the same effect. You have a habit of bad eating food time. If you have bad it's so frustrating to you pretty quickly. So you have to make sure that you're enjoying the process, knowing that if you fall off, it's just short-lived and you're hopping back on and you're getting your result. So what do you do? What do you do? What do you focus on? What do you focus on to make sure that you're not just wishing? Because that is exactly what you're doing if you would love to change, but you hate change and you don't want to change. There's some times where I give a presentation and somebody looks at me as if I had 3 or 4 eyeballs on my forehead. Because why? Because I'm telling them benefits, but now I'm walking through the steps that they need to go through to achieve it. And they're like, I have to do what? For how long? When? I don't think I can do that. And they immediately start putting their thoughts on falling and seeing what that's like and what that feels like and what that seems like and how uncomfortable it is and how they don't want to go through that. You have to be like that person learning to ride a bike.